So I have a slip line on Louie. He keeps getting ahead. I can tug with my slip line, and I've been doing this a lot, and you'll notice like he practically flinches when I give the tug. He's like, oh my God, but it's not enough to bring him back. You see this a lot in dogs that are really anxious, is they will try and do what they want. And of course, we tend not to correct a whole lot because we don't want them to be upset. Thank you. But what happens is we don't correct enough for them to actually listen. So then they just keep getting into this cycle of being stressed because the correction's not enough to make them stop, and being more stressed because then of course they get little corrections and they know you're upset with them, but they don't necessarily know why. So I want to give him enough of a correction to tell him, hey, I actually need you to listen to me. Okay. Chloe blowing on it. So twice, I think in the space of this video, so 59 seconds, I actually stopped like this and pulled him back. And I pulled him back with little pulsing motions. So it's not one steady pull. If you do one steady pull, your dog is just going to brace and pull forward. Little pulsing motions, like a pull, 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 will make it so that they don't have anything to brace against. And then you can actually bring them back without them bracing. Honk, oh, big yawn, it was so hard. So I brought him back, I sat him down, I used my pulsing motions to bring him back. And now I have a dog who's walking beside me. I'm trying to get my foot in the picture so you can see where he is in relation to me. There we go. So you want to be aware that when you correct him, don't fall into the trap of thinking, oh, I don't want to correct too hard. No, you're right, we don't want to correct too hard. That's why we're using a slip line instead of a slip chain or anything else we could use. Speaking of correcting, I've got this other dog who thinks she can pull. But also know that if you're not getting what you need, either it's because that method isn't going to work at all, or it's because you're not correcting enough. If your dog is getting more and more stressed, then you either need to consider downgrading your corrective thing. So if you're using a prong collar, drop to a slip chain. If you're using a slip chain, drop to a slip line or a London lead. But then you also have to consider, if you've already downgraded it, I don't know, then you have to consider also that it might actually not be quite correction enough, and your dog is falling into that, well, it's not bad enough for me to stop, but it is bad enough for me to feel bad. So I'm going to do it, and then you're going to correct, but I'm still going to do it, and then you're going to correct, and every time you correct, I'm just going to feel worse, but it's not going to stop me from doing it. Something to keep in mind, especially on Mr. Louie here.